Well, that was certainly a main event on Raw. But before we get into the main event, let's go through the entire show. This is the January 26th edition of Monday Night Raw. We open up with AJ Styles addressing the whole him retiring thing at the Royal Rumble. Maybe, maybe not, depending on he loses to Gunther or not. And then he says in his promo that he would love to have one more world title. And there's only one guy on Raw that he can face that has a world title. So CM Punk comes out. He lets the whole world know that, hey, I'm down. If you're down, AJ, let's give these people what they want. A World Heavyweight Championship main event. AJ Styles versus CM Punk. So with the main event set for tonight, we have a 6-woman tag team match. Rhea and Stephanie Vaquer versus the Judgment Day. So if I remember correctly, this is Stephanie Vaquer's in-ring return after injuring her ankle. She's been gone for feels like months at this point, and it feels like Raquel has been the number one contender for her championship 4 months at this point. So I'm glad to see that she's finally back and she's wrestling here tonight on Monday Night Raw. Honestly, this was a fantastic way to move along all of their storylines while allowing to see all these women show off all the skills they have. Rhea Ripley and Io Sky look fantastic. Stephanie Vaquer looks fantastic. There is a moment in the match where she does a crossbody to Raquel on the outside, and she gets up and she's kind of hobbling a little. Hopefully she's just trying to sell the ankle. I really hope she's not. It's like she didn't get well and then immediately get injured again, because that would suck. But otherwise, Stephanie Vaquer looks fantastic here. Liv Morgan and Roxanne look as good as ever. But to me, the standout performance, and she's just been killing it ever since she's like turned into this new character, is Raquel Rodriguez. Raquel has completely turned to a different point. I, for one, would not be disappointed if she won the women's world title. I think that would be fantastic. I'm also okay with Stephanie keeping it as long as she's not injured. If she's injured, she needs to lose the title to Raquel or just relinquish the title, because otherwise we're just sitting here at a standstill. And we're heading into the Royal Rumble, Elimination Chamber, and WrestleMania season. This match, though, has me excited for Stephanie Vaquer versus Raquel when that does eventually happen, but it also has me extremely interested in the women's tag team title match, because Rhea Ripley and Io Sky, I'm still kind of iffy on them, if I'm being completely honest, but they look fantastic together in this match, and Julia and Kiana James have some good chemistry as well. So I'm hoping when these two finally clash, it'll be a fantastic match, kind of like how it was Judgment Day versus Rio at Saturday night's main event. That was a great match. Next up, we have Finn Balor meeting with Punk in the backstage area, and he tells him, "Thank you for the flowers you gave me in my home country, but I didn't do it for you when we were there, and so let me take the moment to thank you, be very respectful." This is that, trope that we've been going on for like what seems like 3 years now. I respect you, so here's a good old fist bump. And Punk says, I appreciate it, and it's people like you that keep me being the best in the world. And he's kind of right, because if Punk didn't have people like Finn Balor or Gunther to go against, is he really the best in the world? I don't think so. But then something interesting happens. He says that Finn needs to leave the Judgment Day to become even more than what he is now. Don't get me wrong, Finn is great and everything, but the Judgment Day is what's holding him back. And I think this makes Finn start to, go deeper into that well of, well, there's been a lot of bickering ever since the Judgment Day came together, and things still aren't looking up. So let me look at my options. Let me think about things for a little bit. Next, what we have is like one of, I don't even know how to put it because it just makes me kind of mad. We have the Vision come out. Adam Pearce comes out. He apologizes to Bron Breakker, lifts his suspension, and Bron Breakker is now a part of the Royal Rumble, as well as Bronson Reed, Logan Paul, and Austin Theory. And I don't know, whatever that phone call was, whoever was behind that phone, I don't know. This whole thing just makes Adam Pearce seem like a bad general manager, because he was the guy constantly just yelling and screaming, trying to get people to listen to him, and at least he was trying something. But now it's just like he's fallen to the wayside, and whoever's behind that phone is now pulling all the strings, in my opinion. That's just what it's going to feel like. Also in this segment, Paul Heyman accuses Adam Pearce of purposely leaving the brass knuckles for Rey Mysterio to then use on Austin Theory to win the match that they had last week. This rolls us into Austin Theory getting Rey Mysterio again tonight to, get that rubber match. See if Austin Theory can actually beat Rey Mysterio. And of course, in this match, you have the Vision in Austin Theory's corner, and Rey has Penta and Dragon Lee in their corner. They have, shenanigans here and there, but of course, it all comes tumbling down to an end. I do want to bring up one real cool move I don't think I've ever seen before. I might have. I can't remember, but this really stood out to me. Rey goes for a Hurricanrana, and then Austin Theory stops him, brings him up, and does like an inverted code breaker, is the closest thing I can even describe it as. Really cool move. So after some shenanigans, Theory wins the match against Rey Mysterio. The Vision decide to come in and destroy all the luchadors. And I think, unfortunately, Rey Mysterio is injured again, it seems like, because at the end of the match, he was hobbling on that leg. Seems to be like everybody is hobbling on legs recently in, the past month or so. So I hope, Rey Mysterio, you're all right. You're not actually injured. Hopefully it's just like something minor. You like pulled something. Hopefully that's all it is. But yeah, I really enjoyed this match. I am enjoying the storyline, except for the whole Adam Pearce thing. I'm still a little mad about that, because to me, they just completely tanked Adam Pearce's character. To me, it just doesn't make sense, but hopefully this isn't some storyline WWE will drop, and then we never get the answer to it. Right after this, we get Natty's reason for attacking Maxine Dupree on last week's Raw, and it's basically because she saw it as Maxine Dupree seeing it that she was better than Natty, just because she has been taught by a legend. She is somehow better than a legend, which I don't know where Natty's getting that from. Maxine Dupree was just happy that she won a championship, that she's actually learning and becoming a better wrestler. But hey, teach their own. I'm happy to see Natty here. Natty Neidhart, Bloodsport Natty. I'm hoping that they actually do something with this and they just don't drop it. Once again, please don't drop these storylines, WWE. You're kind of doing a good job right now. So I'm excited. Can't wait to see what they do with her. And then right after that, in a backstage segment, Raquel is looking for Stephanie Vaquer because she just wants to beat the crap out of her. Her and Bayley get into a little spat, and then Lyra comes up. Raquel basically says, if I wasn't looking for Stephanie right now, I would drop the both of you. Bye. And then, Stephanie comes out of nowhere, starts beating the crap out of each other. They get split off by security. End of that segment. Just more fuel into the fire. Love it. So on this episode, we also get another interview section with Michael Cole, this time interviewing Gunther, asking him, why does he want to retire AJ? And Gunther basically gives us the same answer as last time, because what else does he have to give me? He doesn't have a championship. It's not like if I beat him, I become number one contender. So I want his career. Then Cole asks him, why rob the fans of a year of AJ Styles? We just had John Cena, which you ended, and you didn't ruin it. You kind of just were his last match. So why rob the fans of one final year of AJ Styles? And Gunther says it's because he's tired of all these old timers. He's tired of all these old guys taking the spot that should be rightfully Gunther's. And not like rightfully somebody else's. Let's pull up some younger people from like NXT and stuff and give them the spotlight. No, Gunther just wants the whole spotlight for himself. He wants to retire AJ. He wants to retire Brock. He wants to go to the Royal Rumble, win the Royal Rumble, go to Mania, win a championship, retire The Undertaker again. Who knows who he's going to retire next. But he just wants everything for himself. The most selfish wrestler currently in wrestling, probably. And then next, Finn Balor goes to Adam Pearce saying he wants part of the Royal Rumble. And I really enjoy these segments, and I want to, harken back to the Adam Pearce segment with the Vision. He tells them that, hey, Braun, you can be in, and all the three of you can be in, which I like that. That's so much better than just somebody standing there with a mic saying, I'm going to be in the Royal Rumble. This is so much better. And Finn wants in as well. He gave 4 spots away to the Vision. So I want mine. And he tells him, like, Finn, there's only 30 spots and they're all taken up. Finn's like, what are you talking about? They're all taken up. You can't have a Royal Rumble without Finn Balor. What is this? Are you crazy? Which kind of makes me think, was there only, and we're talking, storyline here, was there only 4 spots left in the Royal Rumble and Adam Pearce just gave them all to the Vision? Like, that's hilarious to me. So basically, the only reason Finn Balor isn't in the Royal Rumble, or, as of right now isn't in the Royal Rumble, is strictly because of the Vision. And that stupid phone call that Adam Pearce had, he ruined Finn Balor's Royal Rumble chance. This then moves into Liv meeting up with Finn and basically saying, like, why do you respect Punk? He took your world title. He beat you. Why would you even do that? And then she goes on to say, and I heard what Punk said about you leaving the Judgment Day. You don't need to leave the Judgment Day. The Judgment Day is your family. We have your back. Why would you ever leave? And then Finn basically says, like, don't worry, I just need to figure things out. Which, I don't know what that means in the context of, this situation before we get to the end of the show. Here, it's kind of like, Finn, what are we doing? You lost to the World Heavyweight Champion. You can't get in the Royal Rumble. You're thinking about leaving the Judgment Day for like the 1500th time. What are we doing, Finn? Make up your mind. We are then taken to our next match, where it is a fatal 4-way tag team match, where winner will become the number 1 contenders for the Usos World Tag Team Championships. So you have American Made, American Alpha, the Americanos, and the New Day as the 4 teams in this match. And I want to say, I hate the format of if it's a triple threat tag team match or a fatal 4-way tag team match like this one, and only one competitor from 2 teams can be in the match at one time. It should be one competitor from each team, meaning 4 guys, inside of the ring at one time. This whole, like, oh, you can tag whoever, this, that, and the other. I think maybe it's just me, and maybe I'm just a hater, but I hate it. I think it's so stupid just watching 2 tag team guys just standing there waiting for their turn to get into the ring. It's so stupid. I hate it. I hate it so much. But what I didn't hate about this match is Otis and Tozawa went absolutely crazy, especially Tozawa. And because of them 2 going crazy, especially Tozawa, did I say Tozawa went crazy? They are our number 1 contenders. Otis and Tozawa are our number 1 contenders. I don't see them beating the Usos, but who knows? WWE might surprise us and give us a American Alpha World Tag Team run. That would be kind of crazy. Maybe that's what they're going to do. They're going to have them win. Chad Gable comes back. And instead of American Made having tag team gold, he's going to be mad at them because American Alpha has tag team gold. That could be interesting. If that's what they plan on doing, I'm all for it. We get Becky Lynch in a backstage segment talking about how, like, her win was not controversial, but what was what Natty did to Maxine after the match. She's waiting for Natty, which I really like that. We're going to have Natty versus Becky for the title. That could be fun. Or maybe a triple threat match with if you add Maxine into it. And then also Becky says that she is entering the Royal Rumble as well. But then the Kabuki Warriors come out and Kairi Sane says, Becky, you can't win the Royal Rumble because Asuka is going to win the Royal Rumble. And then Becky's like, well, I've beaten Asuka so many times. It's a numerous amount. I can't even count how many. It was so many. And Becky is ready for anything at the Royal Rumble. She's going to eliminate Kairi. She's going to eliminate Natty. She's going to eliminate Maxine. She's going to eliminate Asuka. Everybody's going over the top rope, according to Becky. We get this really awkward backstage segment right before the main event between Javon Evans and AJ Styles. Basically, Javon Evans is like, hey man, on your retirement tour, love to have a match against you. And AJ is like, bet. And that means we're going to do it. And Javon is like, I know what that means. I'll see you around. It's very awkward, but I think that it was intentionally awkward. Hopefully that's what they were going for. Otherwise, it kind of even makes it more funny if AJ was like trying to be hip and cool with Javon. And then right after that, Stephanie Vaquer goes to Adam Pearce, says she wants Raquel Rodriguez, not in a match, but in a fight, and it's officially made for next week on Raw in Philadelphia. It will be a street fight for the world title, Stephanie Vaquer versus Raquel Rodriguez, and I cannot wait. And one more segment right before we get to the main event. We have the Vision sitting backstage, and Logan Paul says we need to devise a plan in the Royal Rumble. It's 4 of us, we're a faction, we need to work together. We need to make a plan, and one of us has to win. And that person needs to be Bron Breakker. Bronson Reed agrees, Austin Theory agrees, and of course, Bron Breakker's over the moon because they all agree. I get that they're in a faction and everything, but it seems kind of weird to me that you would even be in the Royal Rumble and not even want to try to win. Because it makes me think, like, storyline-wise, what if they're the last 4? Is Logan, Austin, and Bronson Reed just going to hop over the rope and let Bron Breakker win? That doesn't make any sense to me. Why not just stay out of the Royal Rumble, and when Braun enters, just go out and help him? Because Royal Rumble is pretty much a no DQ. You're not going to get thrown out just because your homie's coming back you up. I don't know, it just seems a little weird to me, but hopefully it'll make more sense when the Royal Rumble does happen. And finally, we get to our main event, AJ Styles versus CM Punk for the World Heavyweight Championship. Now, was this match as good as AJ versus Shinsuke? I don't think so. I think AJ versus Shinsuke was probably twice as good as this match, but nonetheless, still a very good match. There were some spots here and there that I really enjoyed. The one thing that I'm pretty sure everybody is going to be talking about, though, is that finish. Because if I remember correctly, Punk has AJ on his shoulders. AJ's holding onto the rope, trying to get out, because Punk is trying to go for the go to sleep. And then Finn comes out of nowhere, kicks Punk into the turnbuckle, and I think AJ just falls out of the ring at that point. I can't remember. But, you know, Finn does some stuff to Punk. Then he hits him with like 2 or 3 coup de grace. And it's got me thinking, like, did he really respect Punk in that promo at the top of the show? Or was that all for just show? I don't know where Finn's at. It just seems like he's all over the place. Does he want to be with the Judgment Day? Does he not? Is he leaving? Is he staying? Is he a respectful wrestler? Is he a hate-filled wrestler? Is the demon gonna come out? There's so many questions here. Either way, Finn is getting pushed, and I am all for it. I don't care if he's beating Punk. Maybe we'll get, if AJ doesn't retire at the Royal Rumble, maybe we'll get a triple threat match at like Elimination Chamber or even Mania. That would be pretty cool. And you know what? I really enjoyed this Raw, so I'm going to give it 4 out of 5 stars is where I'm sitting at right now. Right here, right now. I haven't listened to anybody. I'm recording this right after having watched it, so I haven't seen anybody else's opinion. I'm going to give it 4 stars out of 5. And you know what? If you watched this long, you might as well go down in the comments below and let me know what you thought about Raw. What did you like? What did you dislike? Let me especially know what you think about Finn and where they're trying to take his storyline. And while you're down there, you watch this long, you might as well, hit the like button. If you're not subscribed, you could do that. And maybe hit the notification bell so that way you can see every single time this channel uploads. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time.